Yo, what up, dogs? Last week I went and saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I went right after work on a Saturday, 4:50 showing. I went with my friend and his wife, who are big Ninja Turtle fans, and I didn't get a nap in, so I went straight to the shower to the theater and got there just in time to get concessions. And I'm going to be honest with you, the concession stands were pretty much sold out, and I think it's because of the Barbie hammer. The Barbie hammer. I think that's what did it. Too many weeks of awesomeness from Barbie Hammer just depleted the resources of the concession stand because they had nothing for combos anymore. All you could get was like a certain size popcorn and a certain size drink, and they only had one candy left, which was like a Hershey's cookie and cream, and no one was buying that. I didn't even buy it. I was like, no thanks, that's not my candy of choice. So I just got a popcorn and a drink, and it was weird. It was just weird going into this theater where there was people, because it's still like the lingering after effects of the Barbenheimer experience is like still there. Like people were there. It was still buzzing, but like concession stands depleted. So I got what I got, went in, and I gotta say, there was like maybe 20 people in the theater. We just went and saw it in standard definition, nothing special, no IMAX or anything. I don't even think there is an IMAX showing for this film, to be honest with you. So just good old-fashioned standard def, and it was fine, man. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my time there. There was about 20 people in the theater, and it was a good mixture of like adults my age, like adults, some kids, and like in-betweeners. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a good mix, and I have to say, we all enjoyed it, that's for sure. Like, there was a lot of laughter going on in this film. And yeah, there is some cringy moments, like dialogue-wise. You're just like, huh, why? And there's elements, if you are a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, you might not like certain things that happen in this movie because of how diehard of a fan you are. That being said, I am a Ninja Turtle fan. I've been with the Turtles since their inception, man. They've been in my life for a long time. I had a couple of toys, but I was mostly a comic book reader at that time. So I had a ton of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books, and I had a reprint of the black and white original, or the original 4, but I only had like one issue of a reprint of that one. And I had a lot of the, I think it was Marvel that put those comics out. But I had more of the cartoony comics that I collected. And also I watched the cartoon, the original, and I'm a big fan of the Ninja Turtle movies as well, especially the first one. That one is like just damn good, you know what I'm saying? I love that film. I haven't watched it in a long time. It's not in my collection either, which I should rectify. I'm well versed with the Turtle universe, and yeah, man, I enjoyed this film. I did. Let's break it down. We got the notes. I enjoyed it. I really did. The directors of this film are Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears. Now, Jeff worked on The Mitchells versus the Machines as a director there, and Kyler was, I believe, an animation director, or yeah, I think he was the animation director there. I forgot, I didn't write that down in my notes. I'm not the best note taker, but I do take some notes. Now, this film follows the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right, from inception of the ooze and all that fun stuff and how they became to their trials and tribulations to a big fight at the end. That is the whole core of this movie. And if you don't know anything about the Ninja Turtles, you are going to learn their origin story. And I was thinking about this a couple days ago, actually. I was like, do the Ninja Turtles need to tell us the origin story? Are they big enough that we don't need the origin story anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they part of pop culture in the sense of like Batman and Superman, where we don't need their origin stories anymore? We know what they're all about. Is that the same with the Ninja Turtles? Because maybe it's just me. However, I do think their origin story is kind of integral to the overall story of everything else that goes on in this universe, because the explanation of mutants just showing up because of the ooze is kind of integral to everything in Ninja Turtles, right? So maybe we always need the origin story, but we get a new origin story in here told by Splinter, and it's nice. Actually, at the beginning of the movie too, we get the creation of the ooze, which is created by Baxter Stockman, who is played by I can never pronounce his first name. Is it Giancarlo Esposito? I hope I pronounced his name correctly. I always mess it up. But he voices Baxter Stockman, and he is the originator of the Ooze. And there is a organization out there. Is it the Terrestrial Galactic Intercorps? I forget what they are. TCGM or whatever it is. I totally forget their acronym right now. But this organization is after Stockman and what he created, which is the Ooze. And the leader of that group is Cynthia Outram, who's played or voiced by Maya Rudolph. And their whole objective is, let's get Baxter, let's get his experiments, bring them back here so we can do better experiments and make our own Ooze and potential villains of the future. And so there's this confrontation, and that confrontation leads to the origins of the Ninja Turtles, because a vial of Ooze is kicked down the sewer. Classic, right? And also we learned that Baxter's been doing experiments on various creatures, one being a housefly. And the housefly plays an integral part later on in this film. So as we go on, we are introduced to the Turtles. And the Turtles it's like a 15-year later time gap. And the Turtles are teenagers. And I have to say that the voice acting of these four lads, which they're unknowns, they're brand new to the scene. And I really like them. They felt like they were teenagers. Now, like, I work in an industry where we have summer students come and work, and they're 16 to 18. So the way they talk is a little more amped up in the film, but a lot of the lingo and slang terms that these Ninja Turtles are using are what the kids are using on the streets today. And I kind of liked it. I kind of appreciated it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get annoyed that the Ninja Turtles weren't saying like cowabunga and gnarly and stuff like that. I didn't actually mind them not using the lingos and street terms that we used back in the day, because this is 2023. The dialect of today is so different, and I appreciated it. But also, I think I appreciated it because I knew what the kids were talking about. You know what I'm saying? I know what the Turtles are talking about. So I could see maybe some adults in the theater going, what the heck does any of this mean? What's Riz? You know what I'm saying? And I laughed so hard when there's a scene where Leonardo, okay, I don't care. Leonardo falls for April O'Neil, who April O'Neil is played by Ayo Edebiri. I hope that I pronounced her name correctly. She's from The Bear. I really enjoy her in The Bear, so I was excited for her to be in this. And she plays April O'Neil. And there is controversy around April O'Neil. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Who cares? It's a character. Whippy-doo. She's frumpy. She's a frumpy teenager trying to just make it in this world. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the color of April O'Neil. It doesn't matter. However, it is funny that her last name is O'Neil. Like, I get it. It's an Irish last name. But you know what? I'm sure there's black Irish out there. Why can't there be? I don't care. It doesn't even matter. It's a moot point. It's a moot point. Leonardo falls for her, and he tries to woo her with his words. And like, I think it's like Donatello or Michelangelo was like, that was some horrible risk. And I just started laughing so hard. It was too funny. Anyways, April O'Neil, I'm telling this whole story out of sequence because I don't misremember it. I'm just thinking of all the funny jokes and gags that happened in this movie, and they're taking over my review, and I'm sorry. Because the film is quite funny, man. I have to say it multiple times that how much I enjoyed this film just from the joke side of things, man. I laughed so much watching this film. Like, more than I was expecting to laugh at a film. It was really funny. It could be up there as one of the top comedy movies of 2023. Like, why not? Let's put it in the conversation because it's actually really, really funny. Like, seriously funny. So we get the origin story of the Turtles told by Splinter, and Splinter's story as well, and how they learn martial arts, which is, I don't know if it's corny. Like he learns martial arts from a videotape that he found, and I'm kind of just like, again, it's a new story for a new age. Who cares if you learned it that way? But I get where I like the original where he was trained like I was a rat. He learned the martial arts from his master. What was his name? Usagi? I can't remember right now. But it was just like, yeah, I like that origin story of Splinter, like especially in the '90s movie where he's like practicing kung fu as this little puppet in the cage. He's like, and he's copying. I love that story. It's so funny and so cute. But in this version, Splinter learns ninjutsu or martial arts or kung fu from a videotape, and that's how he trains his sons. And so they all learn the art of martial arts from this videotape, and it's a really nice origin story because you get to see the turtles as little baby turtles, and they're so cute, man. And like how Splinter becomes like a father because he has to, right? Like no one else is going to love him or love these turtles. And there's even a sequence where he goes above ground to like try to interact with the world, and they shun him, and that's why he has a hatred towards humans, because the humans didn't accept him when he needed acceptance. You know what I'm saying? And this film has a lot of acceptance. It's all about being accepted. You know what I'm saying, in this world. And so he goes back underground. They live there for 15 years, and fast forward, we have the turtles. Splinter's older. Turtles are older. Like I said, the dialogue is so crisp between these guys. Like, I really like that they recorded their voices in the same room at the same time. It gives a really natural flow of just how dialogue happens when you're in a group of people. And it just really was refreshing, to be perfectly honest. When you watch a lot of animated stuff, you can tell maybe it's one dude in a room. But this one felt like the ensemble was in the room, and there's just quips going. Everything, dialogue's so snappy. Really nice. I really enjoyed it. So the turtles are out there doing their thing. You know, they go and do groceries and stuff like that, and they just want to be accepted. You know, that's all they want. They hide in the shadows, and they just listen to Master Splinter and be like, we can't hang out with the humans. They won't accept us, so we got to do this all in the quiet. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of sad because they really want to be a part of the world, man. They just want to exist. So what happens is they have they're young boys, as you know, and they're teenagers, so they don't always listen to Splinter, and they're out on the rooftop practicing their kung fu and stuff like that. And incidentally, they throw a ninja star that hits April O'Neil in the bike helmet, right? And so her stuff is all over the ground and stuff like that, and she gets robbed by an unknown. So as she gets robbed, the boys are like, we should go and save this, like we should go and get her bike back for her. It's like our fault that she's in this situation. We should go fix that. And they do, and you get a really nice fighting sequence in this film. First one, action sequence. It's really well done. I actually liked it quite a bit. And then we get the introduction of April O'Neil meeting the turtles for the first time. And she's kind of cool with it. She's shocked at first that they are actual real mutant Ninja Turtles, but it turns out she's also trying to be a reporter, and one thing leads to another of her being like, oh, this is going to be my big break, because she's shunned at school and made fun of at school because of her incident of being a reporter on the school news. I forget what you call that. I remember being in high school. The morning news at the beginning of the school, but I guess they have it on TV. We used to have it on the intercom, and we used to make fun of those guys all the time. And so vice versa, April O'Neil gets made fun of all the time because her first time on camera, she pukes everywhere. And it's hilariously gross. The amount of puke it's funny, but it's also gross. It's a very good sight gag if you're into that. Funniness, but gross. So be ready for puke. And it happens at least twice in this film? Yeah, 2 times there's puke in this film. And get ready for it. In case that makes you queasy yourself, be warned, there's puke. And it's funny. I laughed both times. So she wants to rectify her image, and she thinks by reporting on the Ninja Turtles and showing the turtles doing good instead of they never did evil, but she's kind of like, if we can make you guys look like the heroes that you are, then maybe the city will accept you. And the turtles are on board with this. It's a big elaborate plan, you know what I'm saying? And like, this is where Leonardo uses his Riz and like the Riz Joker talk. Man, that's still hilarious. I don't care. I don't care if you guys don't think that was funny. I enjoyed it. It made me laugh so much. Again, so much humor in this film. So as they go on, they are there's a criminal out there that's stealing all kinds of technology. And it turns out that criminal is Superfly, who is played by Ice Cube. And Superfly is Baxter's like first successful, I wouldn't say first successful attempt with ooze and making mutants. He has other mutants in test tubes that you see later, but like that you see in the film. But Superfly seems to be the one that like actually it worked on. You know what I'm saying? So Superfly is trying to steal all this equipment to make a big laser beam of sorts, and his whole objective is to make the world a safer place for mutants where he can also be accepted. Again, the theme in this movie is acceptance. And so the turtles find him. Like, they have a whole plan of like, we have to figure out who this criminal is and we have to stop him. So they hatch a plan of like doing like, they go around town beating up a lot of criminals to figure out who's who and who's what. And then they set up a trap to get Superfly. And when they embark on the trap, this is when they find out that there's more mutants, because they didn't know. They thought they were the only ones, them and Splinter. So they find out that Superfly is a mutant and he has a whole family with him of mutants, and that is everyone that Baxter originally made. So we got Rocksteady, who's played by John Cena. We have Bebop, who's played by Seth Rogen. We have Wingnut, who's played by Natasia Demetriou, who is from What We Do in the Shadows. I heard her voice right away. I was like, is that Nadia? It is. We have Ray Fillet, who's played by Post Malone. I did not know that. Who else we got in here? Genghis Frog, who is played by Hannibal Buress. And we also have Leatherhead, who is played by Rose Byrne, or Byrne. Rose Byrne. Oh, and I forgot Mondo Gecko, who's played by Bradley Cooper, right? Or is it Paul Rudd? I didn't write it down, but I forgot. I think it's Bradley Cooper. Probably wrong. So we get this introduction to this whole mutant family now, and they are indifferent of Superfly. Like, Superfly is their brother, and he's trying to help them live in a world to be accepted. And as we learn more about this plan, and the turtles are becoming friends with these mutants, but they don't want to do Superfly's plan because it's evil. Because when we learn about what the plan is, it's pretty much to eradicate the world of humans. So only mutants can survive. And I think the other aspect of this was it was going to turn all the animals into mutants and the humans dead. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how that was explained. Anyways, the turtles ain't cool with this. So they hatch a plan of like, we got to stop Superfly. And they do. And, well, they don't stop him right away. There's phase 1, phase 2 of this fight, right? So they turn on Superfly, and then they kind of coerce the other mutants around them that are also family. Like, in the end, they're all cousins and stuff. They're all related because of the ooze. And so everyone turns on Superfly, and then Superfly gets hit with too much ooze and becomes like mega Superfly, right? He becomes like just a giant super monster, and he's so cool, man. Can I just take a minute to talk about Ice Cube? Ice Cube is great in this film. He just, every scene and every time he's in there, this character Superfly, he is just so damn cool. He draws on the elements of like when he was in Boys in the Hood. Like, Superfly is this gangster type character, or gangbang, or whatever you want to call it, and he is so cool, man. He's so cool and hilarious. Again, Superfly, super hilarious. There's when he becomes Megafly and all these, or Mega Superfly, whatever. I don't even know what they call him in his final form, but he's an amalgamation of mutated animals from the zoo, and he's just made up of all these zoo animals. It looks gross, but it's cool. And there's a weapon in this world that if you shoot them, it can turn the mutant back to a human, it can turn the mutated animal back into an animal, right? So they go and they shoot it at Superfly, thinking that it'll undo everything, and it hits like a horse on his leg, and the horse just pops out. It's freaking hilarious. And Superfly is just like, oh, what? Is that all it can do? One horse? I don't need him anyways. And he just keeps on going. It's such a good scene, man. So as we progress, they figure out that the only way to kill him, or not kill him, but take him down, is by throwing that weapon I just mentioned into his blowhole. Don't ask. And that should undo everything. So what happens, though, is as all this chaos is going on, the news is reporting on it, making the Ninja Turtles look like villains, like they're a part of this whole big mutant mayhem, right? And then April O'Neil takes over and starts spinning it and saying, the turtles are on our side, we need to help the turtles. So then we have the scene where the people of, I guess, New York, rise up and help the turtles to take down the Mega Superfly. And it's a good scene because it kind of reminds me of like one of those Spider-Man movies where they like all help Tobey Maguire and they're like, yeah, man, Spider-Man is New York. But this is like, hey, man, the Ninja Turtles are New York. And if you remember, they also did this in the Super Mario Bros. Movie at the end where the world, I guess they're in the Bronx there. They're like, yeah, the Bronx is for the bros. So it's like, it's a very common theme with these movies that take place in these New York City area. So the citizens rise up, help the turtles, defeat the Superfly, and that's the end. It's a good ending. It's game over. And like, yeah, like everyone works with each other. So all the villains that would be like Bebop, Rocksteady, Mondo Gecko. Was Mondo Gecko ever a villain? I can't remember. I always thought he was a hero. I can't remember. It's been a while. Ray Fillet. Like all your Leatherhead and like all your regular villains team up and become friends with the turtles and take down Super Duper Superfly, right? And that might rub people the wrong way that the villains are actually heroes, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens in the theater, in the movie part 2, right? Like maybe something cool will happen with them. Maybe they'll be mind controlled or something like that. I don't know. So the movie ends. Everyone's happily ever after. Splinter falls in love with Scuttlebug, which is another character. I don't think there's a voice actor for that one. I can't remember. He's like, she's a girl. Like, there might be controversy out there about being Splinter might be gay. I couldn't find anything of the sort in the actual movie because he mentions that Scuttlebug is a woman multiple times and he makes out with her. So I don't know where that information came from, but he's straight in the film. If that even matters, I don't know. I don't know, man. It didn't matter. He kissed a bug and it was freaking gross. When they made out, it was so disgusting. I was with the turtles because they make out in front of the turtles and the turtles were like, ew, Dad, stop. And I was like, yeah, Splinter, dog, please stop. It's gross. Anyways, the movie ends. You get cool credits. Stay for a post-credit scene because someone's coming. Someone we all want to come. That's it. That's the end of the movie. I can't wait for the sequel. Honestly, I think let me just we hit all the notes too. I have to say again, super funny movie. I enjoyed every minute of it. Bring your friends, bring your Ninja Turtle friends too. Have a good time. Go and see this film. It deserves to be seen. It is really fun, funny. Good action sequences. The animation's tight. It'll grow on you, trust me. Oh yeah, the soundtrack in this movie is ridiculously good too. Like Trent Reznor's on it, and I was like, what? Why is he doing a Ninja Turtles soundtrack? So it has a little 90s twinkle in there. Damn good. Will I get it for the collection? Probably. I should get it. I should get the rest of the Turtles too. Yeah, I recommend it, guys. Go see it. I got nothing else to say about this film. The next movie I'm going to see is The Voyage of Demeter. Yeah, I don't even know about this movie. I just saw a trailer saying it's about Dracula, and I didn't watch the trailer. I was like, nope, going in blind, because I've never heard about this film before. So that's the next review. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. I gotta go back to work. So I hope you all are having a very good day. Whatever movies you are watching, I hope you're enjoying them. And I got to get out of here. So have a good one. Peace out, everyone. Bye.